Are you getting a ton of drop stitches while using your circular knitting machine? When I first started out, one of the biggest culprits for dropping a stitch was using too bulky of a yarn. Now this is a number 5 bulky weight yarn that I love to crochet granny square purses with, but as I was crocheting with it, I thought this is actually still pretty thin compared to some other number 5 bulky weight yarns. So this is the yarn I'm using to make my latest granny square purse. And so I thought, let's use it on the circular knitting machine to see if it would work, because this is a really fun, great yarn to use. Spoiler alert, it does not work in this machine. It is still too thick. It does not like it. I'm going to fast forward. When I get to about row 11, you're going to see how I'm missing the loops on these 2 pegs. It also started binding in the machine and not making a great noise. So I stopped right away when that happened, and I saw this and I thought, well, let's try it one more time. Maybe I had too tight of a tension, even though I had it in the loosest hole of the tension bar and wasn't really hanging on to it with my left hand. So I removed it from the machine, and I'm going to cast on, and I'm going to try again, and I'm going to do the first part after I cast on in real time so you can see how slow I was going. But what you're going to see is after I get about to row 2 or 3, that when the loop starts coming up on the left side of the machine before the yarn holder, it doesn't flip the loop around and seat it all the way down the machine. So I have to keep pushing it down with my finger. And that got real tedious after a while to keep pushing it down to make it work. And once I thought maybe I had it going again and everything was fine, it instantly started dropping those stitches again. So this yarn is just too bulky for the machine. So any too bulky yarn, this is what's going to happen. Or yarns that are like wool and like really stick together, like the yarn doesn't stick, it's not very slick and slippery through the machine, that's going to happen. So you need to try a different yarn. Yarns that I can get to work really well in this machine, the Premier Anti-Pilling DK and Worsted yarn. It's a very soft yarn. It's a number 3 and number 4 weighted yarn. It works really good. Also Premier Eversoft works very well. I love that yarn from Hobby Lobby, and Yarnspiration's Caron Simply Soft are also a number 4 weighted yarn that also works well in this machine. And the Big Twist yarn. There is like a tweed yarn from Premier that is also a number 4, but it's a little bit more bulky. And that one can be temperamental at times too. So if you seem to get a lot of these drop stitches very early on in pretty much between rows 3 and 11 like this, and it's about almost every other one, it's probably too bulky of a yarn and you need to try a different yarn. I also had someone comment that because their sheen moves too much, it wasn't sticking to their table, that they were getting a lot of drop stitches as well. If that's the case, I use some reusable glue pads I got from Amazon that I have stuck to the bottom of my machine to the suction cup so there's no movements on my countertop. The other videos that I have about some tips and tricks on dropped and tuck stitches, I'm going to put links in the video description of this video. And so I hope those can help you be successful with your circular knitting machine. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and follow and subscribe for more how-to videos for crocheting and your circular knitting machine. Happy crafting, everybody.